two witness protection families in Lake Elsinore, California. By a mistake by the FBI, gets set up there. And then a mob boss's son is trying to get out of an arranged marriage, but luckily his friends and a zombie apocalypse are there to bail him out. There's a source of infection is tablione sausage trucked in from the East Coast, and everything goes haywire. And I think Jilly and I knew each other so long. We met at the Latino Laugh Festival way back when. We started touring when I did the Taco Bell Chihuahua in Reno. She played my sister. And we've just known each other for a long time. We get each other. We hung out. We both love Shaun of the Dead. We both love Goodfellas. We both love The Sopranos. I love Tucker and Dale versus Evil, Dead Snow, Lederhosen Zombies, Night of the Living Dead, etc., etc., etc. So we both had the mindset that was open because we play characters in comedy to write characters, and then we knew that we had the right set of friends that we could cast. So as we were writing the script, we just wrote it for the people we knew. Brett Ernst, Vince Dunn Vito, Joe Reitman, Gary Anthony Williams, and it became easy to write. And I think that's why we were the right people to do it. Everything fell into place. Well, we're talking specifically zombies, right? I love Zombieland too. And it's interesting. One of the reviews we got, which was unsolicited, said, notice to Jim Jarmusch, this is how you do a zombie film with your friends. And I was embarrassed because I love Mystery Train, Down by Law, all that stuff. So he's amazing. But that movie I saw, and it missed. And for me, the reason it missed was you had a bevy of great actors, and it just was off. There wasn't a story that was endearing. But that's not Jarmusch's style. And usually his style works. It didn't work with the mixture of zombies, I thought. What we attempted to do was just emulate as much as we could of the things that we really liked. And Shaun of the Dead obviously has a great story. Even right down to there's a scene where Shaun has to shoot his mother. There's things like that. And I tell people that this movie is Harry Potter, Hermione, and Ron Weasley. And they're all going through this adventure in Lake Elsinore, Hogwarts. Something has been unleashed. In this case, it's poison sausage, and these three have to navigate their way through it. And that's what makes it kind of watchable and fun. I forget what the original question was, but yeah, so I think that's how we avoided those zombie tropes. I wanted to come up with Jill with some unique kills. I had an idea for the very last kill in the movie, and Jill said, oh, yeah. And I knew Jim Ojala, who directed and wrote the film Strange Nature. He was my next-door neighbor for years. I knew what he could come up with in his creature practical effects shop. So I asked him about the kill, and he's like, oh, dude, I don't think I've ever seen that. I go, if you haven't seen it, and Jill hasn't seen it, let's go for it. And then, of course, we had the advantage, the device of using Vince to reference other movies, especially Italian films and zombie films. And so when we use some mobster zombie kills, we're allowed to be really on top of it because of Vince. Necessity is the mother of invention. Because we're low budget and we have 15 days, we can't show 15 kills. We've got to show 3 or 4 good ones. That's where our budget and our time is right there. So we had to make sure if we've only got 4 that you're really going to see, they got to be good. Kind of like some are derivative of what you've seen before. I think a couple are like, oh, well, that's clever. That's really clever. I haven't seen that before. And one that was pulled off, not to give it away, was more than we expected. More stuff came out of that shot. And we were like, whoa, all right. So I think that's how we avoided those traps, because if we had a huge budget, we might have repeated things that you've seen before. Shaun of the Dead's records, the first time you see zombies is at page 35, and they're chucking their record collection at them. I mean, that's so unique. And so we were definitely inspired by that. What's one unique kill we could put in here? 1 or 2?
That's cool, because I was kind of noticing that, we're seeing the backstory and the character development for a while, and it's like we know what we see at the beginning that there's something else going on, but it really takes a while to develop the story and the characters before it becomes zombie apocalypse time. So I found that interesting. I like that.
Now, because Shaun of the Dead starts with a conversation inside the Winchester house, right? There's no horrific event. And the first time I think you see a zombie is when he leaves like a pub. He even goes into the grocery store and nothing's wrong, right? The little market. But I think when he leaves like a nightclub the Winchester, and you think these guys are making out, but the girl's actually eating the guy's face. So that lets the audience know that something's. But it's not until like, hey, Sean, I think there's somebody in our backyard, and that's like, wow, they finally see it, and they still don't know what it is. The news is on in the background, and then bam. And so yeah, we wanted to write something that delayed it until. What the? Yeah, we were still writing it and almost done. And I asked Jim what would his price be to be a director, and it was a fair price and stuff like that. But then I said, oh gosh, I work with Andy on a couple of things, especially Funhouse Massacre. And thank you, Ben Begley, for the introduction on your series Clueless for me meeting Andy Palmer and working with him on a couple of things. But then I thought, I want Jim. I saw how pulled Jim was on the set of Strange Nature because Jim was directing and doing practical makeup effects with his crew, and it was pulling him apart. And I said, I want to get the best of both. So here's where I'm going to spend my money on this movie. My wife and I financed it. I said, let's spend money on Andy Palmer, who knows comedy. He just did Funhouse Massacre. He's done Camp Colebrook. I did a movie called Find Me with him, so he gets horror. He definitely, with Funhouse Massacre, gets a big cast with lots of kills. And let's let Jim focus just on the practical makeup effects. And in the end, that was the best choice. So Jim, I knew, could do that stuff. I've been to his shop. I've seen all of his practical makeup kills all over the place. Babies coming out of bodies, decapitated heads, swords, eye gouges, a double-headed mechanical wolf, that he used for Strange Nature. So I knew Jim could handle it.